these three concepts are not only needed in social work, they are needed in whatever endeavor we think we are doing. In fact, wherever you are today, the three concepts must have guided you to where you are today, either in academics, either in your profession, even in marriage, for those who have married. Knowledge, understanding, and skills. You need to know. We talk about knowledge. You need to know. Then after knowing, you need to get the understanding of what you know. Then, in understanding it, you develop the skills that are needed or that are required for that particular trade. You are into academics, you are into different profession. If you jump into another profession that you don't have the knowledge of, you will misbehave. Because every trade has its own skill, has its own secret. We talk about secrets of the trade. If you don't have it, you don't have it. If you don't have it, you don't have it. So that's why we talk about the knowledge, the understanding, and skills in this very profession, social work. Social work is a dynamic and demanding profession that requires a variety of skills and qualities. You can't do it anyhow. I remember telling my students that there are procedures for carrying out a research, a scientific research. It is the same here. It is a universal standard. And as we all know that social work as a profession is a global field. It's a global field. So it's not that we just decided to say, okay, this is how we'll be doing it in Nigeria. No. A global, profession calls for global practices, acceptable practices. So, like I said, it requires a variety of skills and qualities. To ensure quality service delivery in social work, professionals need to possess a comprehensive understanding and specific skills for you to be successful, for you to have what we call quality service delivery. As a professional, you need to possess a comprehensive understanding and specific skills. Whether these skills are innate or acquired, success in the field requires social workers to continually develop them throughout the lifetime of their career. You know, there are some skills that you acquired or that you have that are inborn. And you just found out that they are useful in whatever field you found yourself. Some are innate, inborn. Some are acquired through training. Whichever way, you have to maintain a continuous development of these skills throughout your lifetime. That is why the Chartered Institute of Social Work Practitioners of Nigeria organizes training throughout the year in different areas of the country. We have trainings in Lagos, we have trainings in Abuja, we have trainings in different areas, in different places. just to sharpen our skills. Because if you think that what you were doing in 2020 or 2010 is what is still in vogue today, you are missing it. So that's why you need updating. You need to continue to update, your skills. You need to continue to update the skills you have acquired. You just need to continue like that. Without you updating it, you will become outdated. You become outdated. And what you think you know is no more in vogue. So like I said, there is need for regular updating of your skill. Please, like I told us, let us mute our mics, please. Please mute your mics, please. Oh my God. Let us mute our mic, please. You are disturbing others in the class. Okay, like I was saying, that we need consistent and regular training and retraining. No matter what we think we have, either those skills are innate, either those skills are acquired, we still need to always update them for us to, to remain relevant in this field of social work, for us to remain relevant in this field of social work. And like I said, there are so many qualities that we need to, acquire as social workers, as professionals. I will be looking at some of them. Before the week runs out, I will post the material. I mean, that's the next week rather. Before our next class, I will send the material to us. At least all of us will be on the same page. So all of us will be on the same page. Sorry, please. Oh my God. Sorry, please give me a little time. My system is sorry. Okay. Oh, Jesus. So sorry. I said, whether these skills are innate or acquired, success in the field requires social workers to continually develop them throughout the lifetime of their career. Here are some key areas of knowledge and skills that are important in social work. The first one among them is what I call knowledge of social systems. Knowledge of social systems. We also have human behavior and development, social welfare policies and resources, assessment and intervention skills, communication and engagement, cultural competence, ethical practice, case management and advocacy, crisis intervention and trauma-informed practices, reflective practice and self-care. That is about 10. That is 10. Then we also look at characteristics and skill of successful social workers. Characteristics and skills of successful social workers. We talk about empathy, communication, organization, critical thinking, active listening, self-care, cultural competence, patience, professional commitment, advocacy, objectivity, persistence, flexibility, resilience, drive. So I think we should be able to cover all these today. If not, at least When next we meet, we continue from wherever we're able to stop. So picking the first one, which I call knowledge of social systems. Social workers need a deep understanding of social systems, including families, communities, organizations, and societies. This knowledge helps them comprehend the complex interactions and influences that impact individuals and communities. If you don't have the knowledge of the society in which you find yourself, you may fall into trouble as a social worker. You need to understand the cultural system of the environment in which you are operating. You need to know. Then you don't need to judge other people based on your own culture. That is why you need to understand what is obtainable. That's why you need to know what is acceptable in that community or in that environment in which you are working. You need to know the family system. There's some society whereby women cannot take decision on their own. We have seen, especially in the north, some will go to the hospital, they will insist that they must, at least the females, those one in Puda. So you need to know how religion can affect the success of your career. You need to know what is obtainable. If you are going to need a middleman for you to have a successful section with your client, you need to know what and what you will require to have a successful, section with your clients. And part of it is you need to understand the family system, the communities, the organizations, and the societies. This knowledge helps them comprehend the complex interactions and influences that impact individuals and communities. The second one is human behavior and development. Social workers should have knowledge of human behavior and development across the lifespan. You should know the lifespan, different stages in life. The lifespan. You can look at somebody before he gets married. This one is married. They have different lifespan. They are operating at different levels. This understanding allowed them to assess and address the unique needs and challenges of their clients at different stages of life. You should know somebody who is single. You should know somebody who is married. You should know somebody who is divorcee. You should know somebody who is a widow. You should know somebody who is a widower. They will not relate the same way. There are different levels. Then you need to understand how to relate with every one of them. You need to know in your interrogation, in your, relating with your client, there's some background check, background question you need to know, which will hit your section. So you need to understand human behavior and development. When you are dealing with teenagers, it's different from when you are dealing with adults. There are different lifespan, and there are some characteristics, that separate them, which you should know as a social worker. We talk about social welfare policies and resources. Social workers need to be knowledgeable about the social welfare policies and the available community resources. So you should know what are available, where to refer when there is need for referral. What are the policies in place? Because ignorance will not be taken from you. It will not be an excuse. You are supposed to know. So you need to have the knowledge of the social welfare policies for the indigent, for the, we can put all of them under that umbrella. For the motherless, for the abandoned, what are the policies in place so that your good will not later turn to evil for you? that you saw a child and you picked that child and took the child to your house. You may be sued for kidnapping. So you should know what you should do, not taking such child to your house. You get it. You should know what and what needs to be done. There are agencies where you can take the child to. At least to save your head, you can go to a police station. At least, if anything happens, if you register the case there, they won't say you kidnap a child or you have stolen a child. You should know the policies that are on ground. Then you should know the resources available. Because there are some people in the society, they don't know that the government has made some resources available for them. But you as a professional, you should be able to direct them, go to so place. These have been made available for people in your categories. Social welfare policies and resources. So this knowledge enables them to advocate for their clients and connect them with appropriate services and support. If you know the social welfare policies, even if they are not in place, through your advocacy, things that are needed could be put in place. So advocating for their clients. We talk about assessment and intervention skills. Assessment and intervention skills. Social workers need strong assessment skills to gather comprehensive information. You must know how to carry out assessments. You should know how to do covert and overt assessments, open and close assessments. Then that will lead you on what type of intervention skills or intervention that you will adopt. Social workers need strong assessment skills to gather comprehensive information about their clients' needs, strengths, and circumstances. You must know the strength, the weakness of your client. Then the circumstances in which they are. They also require intervention skills to develop and implement.
You're just...
Please mute your mic, ma. They also require intervention skills to develop and implement effective strategies and interventions to address these needs. The next one is communication and engagement. Communication and engagement. Effective communication skills are essential for social workers to build relationship with clients. Because if you are not, effective in communicating with your client, you lost the case from the beginning. You must be, clear enough. If you need to come down, condescend to the level of your client, you have to do that. Just to make sure that you are able to provide the assistance such person needs. So communication and engagement skills. Effective communication skills are essential for social workers to build relationships with clients, establish trust, and facilitate meaningful conversation. They should be able to listen
We can't hear you, sir. Hello,
We can't hear
sir.
you,
We
sir.
can't hear you. We can't hear anything, no.
The lecturer is offline now. Is disconnected from us.
I think it's the network from his side.
Yes, it should be the network. So let's wait. He's not hearing us. He's disconnected, and he might not even know. Put us his chat towards him.
Let's exercise patient for him. He will join us.
Printed material is important.
It's totally offline.
Maybe someone can chat the lecturer out.
Hello? Hello?
Anybody that knows.
I just discovered that I lost connection with you guys.
Okay, sir. Yeah, welcome
Please,
back, sir.
Yeah, where did we stop? Where did we lose that connection so I can go back?
I'm on cultural competence. Publication and engagement skills. Publication and engagement.
Okay, number 5.
Hello,
number
sir.
5. Okay, thank you. I'm hearing you, sir. I'm hearing you.
Publication and engagement skills. That's where you are talking
somebody
about.
said hello, sir. Maybe you wanted to say something. Okay, let's continue. So we talk about communication and engagement. I said effective communication skills are essential for social workers to build relationship with clients, establish trust, and facilitate meaningful conversation. They should be able to listen actively, empathize, and convey information in a clear and respectful manner. I said that social workers are not rude. They need to develop listening skills. You don't need to interrupt your client while your clients are talking. Allow them to talk. You only interject once in a while. Did you mean this? You know, all those, for the client to know that you are actually following. So you need to develop that listening skills and to know how to convey information clearly and also with respect. Then the next one is cultural competence. You need to be diverse. There's need for diversity in your approach when dealing with different clients from different cultural backgrounds. You can't say, okay, because you are a Yoruba, so you continue to deal with Yoruba clients. It's not possible. You can't say because you're an Igbo social worker, you continue to have Igbo clients. It's not possible. It's always good for you to have at least some understanding of other culture. If you are Yoruba, learn some greetings and, you know, in other languages, Igbo, Hausa, and that will also help you. If your client is from the Igbo culture and you are Yoruba, and she is aware or he is aware that you are Yoruba, and the person comes and says, Nne, that's a woman, Nna, that's a man. You know, things like that. You make that person feel at home, okay, at least this person identify with my culture. And you are not expected to be ethnocentric in your dealing with your client. You know, seeing their own culture as being inferior. That is being ethnocentrism. That will surely affect the success of your sections, of the sections you are going to have with your client. And don't see their own culture as being superior to yours. That is xenocentric. Because that will also affect you. You will not be free, you know, to ask the question you should when you see their own culture as being superior to yours. So there is need for you to have what we call cultural competence. Social workers need to be culturally competent and sensitive to the diversity of their clients' backgrounds and experiences. Cultural competence involves understanding and respecting different cultural beliefs, values, practices, and being able to work effectively with diverse populations. That is why you are a social worker. You belong to all. You belong to everybody. So anybody can come to you and you should be ready to, you know, to attend to them. So that's why we need cultural competence. That's why you need to know a bit of virtually every culture that, I mean, in any area that you find yourself. You still need to have a bit understanding of those cultures. Then the other one is ethical practice. Number 7. Social workers must have a solid understanding of ethical principles and values. They should be able to navigate ethical dilemmas, maintain confidentiality, and adhere to professional codes of conduct. Honestly, I tell you, if you don't understand the ethics of your profession and you make any mistake, it is the same ethics that will be used to judge you. Because these are the do's and the don'ts. Please let us mute our mics and let us shut down our videos to avoid distractions, please. Thank you. Mr. Okoye Uchenna, please close your video. Thank you. So talk about ethical practice. Social workers must have a solid understanding of ethical principles and values. They should be able to navigate ethical dilemmas, maintain confidentiality, and adhere to professional codes of conduct. I saw that Dr. Atere posted on the platform the act of the Institute, of the Chartered Institute. Please go through it. So you know what the institute entails, the do's and the don'ts, the limitation of the institute. Everything is there so that you won't say, I don't know, because ignorance is not an excuse. So we talk about ethical practice. The next one is case management and advocacy. That's number 8. Case management and advocacy. Social workers often need to engage in case management activities, including coordinating services, collaborating with other professionals, and advocating for their clients' rights and needs. You need skills to do all this. You don't need to mix up the case files of different people. How to manage the case, where you stop, where you go to, who you collaborate with, when do you need to refer. Then you also advocate for the client's rights and needs. You need to know there are ways of doing it. So social workers often need to engage in case management activities. Not that it is the day you want to go to court or that's when you'll be looking for this file and that file. Including coordinating services, collaborating with other professionals, and advocating for their clients' rights and needs. Number 9, crisis intervention and trauma-informed practices. Crisis intervention and trauma-informed practices or practice. Social workers should be equipped with skills to respond effectively in crisis situations and provide trauma-informed care. I could remember one of our senior colleagues once said to us that even when you see something that is shocking, before your client, don't show that shock. Why? Because your client is depending on you. So if you that the client has come to you are even shocked, you don't have shock absorber, the client will say, no, I've come to the wrong place. So crisis intervention and trauma-informed practice. You should know how to, intervene in crisis situation. Even if that situation is something you have never seen before, always have it at the back of your mind that there will be a day that you see something you have not seen before in this profession. So you don't need to show it. Always have your shock absorber ready every time you are going. Social workers should be equipped with skills to respond effectively to crisis situation and provide trauma-informed care. How do you provide care to those who are traumatized? That is it, trauma-informed care. Training in crisis intervention help them support individuals and communities during emergencies and traumatic events. So social workers need training in crisis intervention. In whichever field you are finding yourself as a social worker, either industrial social worker, medical social worker, community social worker, you will meet with what we call crisis. There are crises everywhere. So in whichever field you think you are specializing, you need training in crisis intervention. You need training in crisis intervention. Then the third one talks about reflective practice and self-care. Reflective practice and self-care. Being a social worker can be emotionally and mentally demanding. It is clear, it is true. In fact, please, can you mute your mic, please? Oh my God, kilo ma baje. You don't need to listen to what is going on in your house, please. Thank you. So talk about reflective practice and self-care. Being a social worker can be emotionally and mentally demanding. It is true. In fact, after the whole day work, you will get back home and you'll be useless to yourself. Professional need skills in reflective practice to regularly evaluate and learn from their experience. You reflect. That is what we call reflective practice. You learn from the past, experiences you had. And that will help you not to start from the beginning if you have such case again, because you have seen such before. At times you'll be faced with cases you have never handled before. You can call your colleagues and share notes and say, this is the case I have at hand. I learned that you handled such case one time like that. Can I go through your notes? Reflective practice and self-care. Professional need skills in reflective practice to regularly evaluate and learn from their experience. They should also practice self-care to prevent burnout and enhance their own well-being. Meaning that in taking care of others, do not neglect yourself, because you have a message and you have a horse. If you kill that horse, another man will be giving that message, whose horse is still functioning. What do I mean? Your body is the ox, and the message you have is the help and assistance you are providing to people around you. That's why we call ourselves professional caregivers. But you need to also know that you have to take care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself, that assignment will be given to somebody else. It is my prayer that nothing bad will happen to any one of us. The more reason we need to take care of ourselves. They should also practice self-care to prevent burnout and enhance their own well-being. Continuous learning and professional development are crucial in social work, as new research, interventions, and practice models continually emerge. So there is need for continuous learning. There is need for continuous learning and professional development, because there is what we call new research, new interventions, and practice model that emerge on a regular basis. By continuously expanding their knowledge and honing their skills, social workers can provide the highest quality service to their clients. So once we look at characteristics, okay, before I continue on that characteristics and skills of successful social workers, I don't know if anybody has any question to ask from the first 10 I've just mentioned now. Anybody? Anybody? It is not a monologue. So you can unmute. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Okay, sir.
Hi, sir.
Okay, Mr. Shegun, you raise up your hand.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, yeah. Okay, please mute your mic now. Who are these people? Oh
You're welcome, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, at a point you were talking about seeking help from colleagues. If you have a case that you have not seen before or that you don't understand, and I'm trying
that's why I said exchange notes. You can exchange notes.
Okay, that's fine. What about the role of confidentiality? Would that not affect you getting to get information about the client that you should not have access to?
Well, the truth is, do you know that even medical doctors, when they have something that is hanging, they still call themselves to attend to a particular client? It is believed that if you involve your professional colleagues, you may have a case at hand and you'll not be the only one that will handle it. I hope you know that. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's okay.
You may have a case and you'll not be the only one that will handle it. It will be handled professionally. It is your professional colleagues. It's giving you the knowledge you don't have. Even in academics, the professors, the doctors, they come together and say, please, how do I go about this? You know, that is professional. You are still professionals in life. It's permitted.
Okay, that's all right.
Are you okay? Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So we want to look at characteristics and skills of successful social workers. Like I read to us initially, I talk about empathy, communication, organization, critical thinking, active listening, self-care, cultural competence, patience, professional commitment, advocacy, objectivity, persistence, flexibility, resilience, and drive. I believe we know there is a difference between empathy and sympathy. Can anybody just help us by telling us the difference between empathy and sympathy? What's the difference between empathy? Oh my God. Can somebody tell us, please, the difference between empathy and sympathy? Or are they the same?
Good day, everyone.
No, they're not the same.
Okay, somebody should help me then.
Good day, everyone. I'm Cynthia Okoma.
Okay, ma'am.
The difference between empathy and sympathy is that for you to be empathic, it means you have to be solution-driven. You want to offer a solution. You are not just there to say, hey, don't worry. But for somebody that is being sympathetic, he's just there to console and not really looking for a way forward. I think those are the two major differences. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The man that came up with the word called empathy, which in German language is called Verstehen. Verstehen is according to Max Weber, and it means the same thing with empathy. I think it was what's the name of this sociologist now that talks about empathy, and it was the same thing as Verstehen, which
Emily Duncan.
No, not Emily Duncan, not Duncan. He's an English sociologist, but I know Max Weber was one that talked about Verstehen. It means the same thing. And they said for you to know why somebody who is homeless is behaving the way he or she is behaving, don't just condemn the person. Make yourself homeless first and see if you will not behave worse. So that is empathy. Putting yourself in the shoe of the person. For you to understand why somebody who is homeless is behaving the way he's behaving, make yourself homeless first. That is empathy. So by the time you now put yourself in the shoe of that person, you will now understand better why that person is behaving the way he or she is behaving. So at least having established that, empathy is the ability to identify with and understand another person's experience and point of view. National Association of Social Workers defines it as the act of perceiving, understanding, experiencing, and responding to the emotional state and ideas of another person. 4 things are very, very vital there in that definition. Perceiving, understanding, experiencing, and responding. By the time you perceive, you understand, you experience, definitely you will respond well. according to what has happened to that person. So empathy is key. It simply means stepping into one else's shoes and recognizing that experiences, perceptions, and worldviews are unique to each individual. Enables social worker to better understand and build stronger relationships with their clients. It is a vital skill. Please let us mute our mics, please. Mr. Abdul Hamid, Salami, Giwa, please mute your mic. Thank you. So I said stepping into someone else's shoes and recognizing that experiences, perceptions, and worldviews are unique to each individual. If we see these, that individual has different experiences, different perceptions, it will enable social workers to better understand and build stronger relationship with clients. Two people may experience the same case or the same problem, but their dispositions and their responses to that situations will not be the same. Somebody who lost a child and the only child, and somebody else who lost a child out of about four children, they are not going to react the same way. Although both of them were bereaved, both of them lost their children, at least one, but I'm telling you, they will not react the same way. And you as a social worker, as a professional, you must understand this very well. So your empathy to two of them will not be the same, because one of them will be ready to even kill himself or herself. The question should be asking, where will I start from? After how many years? You get it? So you need to develop that skills. And like I said, these are skills of successful social workers. One of them, and number one of them, is empathy. Then the second one is communication. Communication. It can either make or mar your section. Communication is key, is germane, both verbal and non-verbal communication. There are people that read meanings to everything you are doing, verbally and non-verbal. So communication, both verbal and non-verbal, is a vital skill for social workers. The ability to communicate clearly with a wide range of people is essential. That the person is Hausa, Igbo, American, anyhow. The ability to communicate clearly with a wide range of people is essential. It is the duty of social workers to advocate for their clients. In order to do this, social workers must understand the client's needs. In addition to being cognizant and other in addition to cognizant of body language and other non-verbal cues, this means communicating properly and effectively with clients regardless of cultural background, age, gender, literacy skill level, or disability. Social workers must also communicate with care providers, colleagues, and agencies, and must document and report information in a clear manner. You can have a section with your client without your jotters, your writing materials. I mean, in a short-term form, because after the claimant have gone, you still need to develop your report. And it should be in a clear terms. In communicating with your colleagues, agency, it must be in a clear term.
Obey simple instruction now, please.
Who is this queen? Okay. The third one is organization. Don't say because you have busy schedule and you are not organized. It's not an excuse. With this profession, you know you have very busy schedules. Then you must know how to organize yourself. Social workers have busy schedules and a wide range of responsibilities in addition to managing and supporting multiple clients, including documentation, reporting, billing, and collaborating. This requires social workers to be very organized and able to prioritize clients' needs in order to effectively manage cases. Disorganizations and poor time management could cause a social worker to overlook a client's needs and result in negative outcomes. You can't say this because you must be organized. You just have to put it in your practice. You must. And you can't say because you are encumbered with so much activities, then you handle the case of your client shabbily. That will cost you and cost even your client. So you need good organizational skills as a social worker. And this will help you and make you successful. The next one is critical thinking. Critical thinking. Critical thinking is the ability to analyze information gathered, and communication. You know, this is also talking about objectivity. Remove your personal sentiment and think about what you have had objectively. It is analyzing information you gathered from unbiased observation and communication. You analyze it. You sit down and think deeply without any string attached. As a social worker, you must not have anything to do with your client. All your relationship with your client must be professional. Nothing more. So this will help you to analyze information without bias. Social workers must be able to objectively evaluate each case by collecting information through observation, interviews, and research. Thinking critically and without prejudice enables social workers to make informed decisions, identify the best resources, and formulate the best plan to help clients. That is that. When nothing is attached, you are doing yourself as your work as a professional. Honestly, you are going to get the best result for your clients. You are going to get the best. So don't have any. Once you see that something is developing inside of you, please transfer that case to somebody else if you cannot control yourself. The moment you begin to develop something unprofessional, you are going to goof, I bet you. You will. So it's better you just say, okay, please, I'm going to transfer this case to my colleague. I think I have something. Just excuse yourself. That is just that. Because with that, you'll not be able to think critically. Then another thing that helps successful social worker, like we said earlier, is active listening. active listening. Active listening is necessary for social workers to understand and identify a client's needs. Listening carefully, concentrating, asking the right questions, and utilizing techniques such as paraphrasing and summarizing also helps social workers to engage and establish trust with clients. Let me say it here. The moment your client can trust you, you are successful already. And that trust will not fall from heaven. You are going to make yourself trustworthy. And your client will see it that, yes, this social worker is trustworthy. The moment your client can trust you, there is no information you need that you will not get. And that will help you to make informed decisions. Now we go to the next one, which is number 6. We are looking at characteristics and skills of successful social workers. And we are looking at the 6th one, which is self-care. Self-care. I told us under the skills, under the general skills, the first time we talked about, few of them are being repeated here because they are the same thing that successful social workers adopted and they were successful. So yeah, we talk about self-care. Social work can be demanding, like we said earlier, emotionally stressful. So it is important to engage in activities that help you to maintain a healthy work-life balance. Self-care refers to practices that help to reduce stress and improve health and well-being. Engaging in these practices helps to prevent burnout and compassion fatigue, and is crucial to having a sustainable career. By taking the time to care for themselves, social workers are better able to provide the best services for their clients. Learn more about self-care without our self-care. If you don't, I said earlier that if you kill the horse, the message will be given to somebody else. Self-care. Then the next one is cultural competence. I've mentioned this before. Can somebody please tell us what we mean by cultural competence? Like I said, it's going to be a dialogue, not a monologue. I mentioned cultural competence before. Can somebody remind us what cultural competence is all about? Cultural competence. Mr. Modikai, are you trying to say something?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are hearing you, sir.
Okay, sir. In cultural competence.
Please change your location. That thing is not clear, please.
Hello, sir.
We are not hearing you.
Hello, sir.
Mr. Adejumo Israel. Okay.
Ability to work with different people, not minding their background or cultural value.
Ability. Well, but the issue is You have to. Okay, Oluwafe Yikemi Adeniyi, I'm hearing you, madam.
Yes, sir. You said cultural competence, that we should try as much as possible to understand and respect the cultural values of our clients. We should not make our clients' culture to be like inferior to our own culture as a social worker.
Chukwu Goziegi. Do you understand Igbo? You don't understand Igbo?
I don't understand Igbo, sir.
Can you imagine? You need to understand. You need to understand. You need to understand. That is cultural competence.
Yes, sir.
Chukwu Goziegi, God bless you. Yes.
Oh,
hello, sir.
God bless you.
Yes, I'm hearing. Who is that?
Okay, this is Adesola.
Adesola Balogun.
Yeah. Cultural competence to me is having a better understanding about other languages and other religions. So by the time you are relating with them, at least be able to speak little of their language, making them feel like, okay, this person can really relate to me better.
And that will make them feel at home to open up to you.
Exactly, sir.
Thank you, Madam Lawal. You don't take no wala. Thank you so much. The next one is patience. Patience. If you don't have it, you need to get it. Because you will see some clients that you feel like getting a cane that you should beat them. Or what kind of? We just have to, you need patience. You will see, that is this profession. At times we say to ourselves that it is a calling, It is a calling. You just have to. If you are not called into it, you may not be successful in it. You need to be patient when you're dealing with some clients, that is it. Social workers encounter an array of circumstances and individuals in their work. It is important to have patience to work through complex cases and with clients who need longer period of time to make progress. This empowers social workers to understand the client's situation and avoid hasty decision-making and frustration that can lead to costly errors and poor outcomes for the client. So how long it's going to take you, no matter how long it's going to take you, just focus at the end, which is success. It may take you longer time. You may have a client that won't take you that time, but you just have to know that there are different cases and there are different clients. So you should know you are not going to spend the same time. Even if you have clients with the same situations, you are bound to spend longer time, with one than the other. So that is patience, like we said. Then the other one here is professional commitment. I told us your relationship with your clients must remain professional relationship. You must maintain that if you don't want to lose out completely. The moment you begin to feel one thing, please hand over that client to another person because you are not going to make success from that case. Being successful in social work requires lifelong learning. Okay, professional commitment. Social workers must have a professional commitment to social work values and ethics, and to continuously developing professional competence. That is giving yourself to training and retraining, attending different conferences, home and abroad, if God provides that for you. This commitment is necessary for fulfilling the mission of social workers to enhance human well-being and help meet the basic human needs of all people, with particular attention to the needs and empowerment of people who are vulnerable, oppressed, and living in poverty. Like I told us at the beginning, that it is not as it was in the beginning, it's now. Things are changing. So that's why You need professional commitment of developing yourself, attending conferences, attending workshops, and upgrading yourself, acquiring more certificates and degrees, just for you to know the new development in the field, just to know the new development in the fields. All these are what successful social workers are doing. Not that they did, they are doing. So you continue to learn and continue to learn. The 10th one here is advocacy. In fact, this is a strong area in the field of social work. You advocate for, and you also advocate against. The two are correct. You advocate for what they need. You advocate against what is not working for your client. So you, as a social worker, you advocate for and you advocate against. You advocate against practices that are heinous. You advocate against practices, like I was telling my students, okay, let me ask in this class, have you heard of breast ironing before? Anybody in the class, have you heard of breast ironing before? Breast ironing. Anybody in the class?
Yes, sir.
Who is that?
Yes, sir.
Who is saying yes, sir? Abosede Olufunke. Adebisi Temitope.
Yeah.
Okay, ma, what is breast ironing all about?
According to what I read, those, in their culture, so that their female children, be exposed to sexual abuse at the early stage of their life.
Thank you, ma. Don't talk again. I'm going to give that work. I'm going to give that work to a group. You are going to do for me. I don't know, breast ironing. Do you know that is a very wicked practice? When I mentioned that in my class, when I was teaching medical sociology, and I was asking them, have you heard of breast ironing before? Because from the little findings, literatures have gotten for that, because I want to get something done on that. It is common in the north and also in Kwara State. They will iron the breast with hot iron just to flatten the breast of those children so that they will not look attractive to men. To them, they think they are doing something good, but it had great adverse effects in their lives. By doing that, they develop abscess in the breast. Now, such case, are you going to advocate for or you are going to advocate against? Your advocacy is going to be for?
Against.
So, like I told us at the beginning, like I said, advocacy for. We have advocacy for and we have advocacy against. Like genital mutilation, some people are still practicing it. Early child marriage, some people are still practicing children marriage. So all these, we need advocacy against. Advocacy against. So, like I said, social workers promote social justice and empower clients and communities through advocacy. Advocacy skills enable social workers to represent and argue for their clients and to connect them with needed resources and opportunities, especially when clients are vulnerable or unable to advocate for themselves. You become the voice for the voiceless. Please, that man who is using an iPhone, please mute your mic, please. Thank you. So you become voice to the voiceless as a social worker. Voice for the voiceless. And to some people, this issue of breast ironing, they have never heard of it. You see the way all of you are looking at yourself, breast ironing. What is breast ironing? That is it. It's there. There are so many heinous behaviors in our societies, and many of us, we are not concerned about them. Speak out. As a social worker, speak out. Please mute your mics. Please mute your mics. Thank you. Don't let us fight. Oh. The next one here is objectivity. Objectivity. You must be objective. Social workers witness the most vulnerable people in the society, requiring desperate help. However, while remaining empathetic, it is crucial to stay impartial and make appropriate and informed decisions. You must remain objective. You must not be attached. Separate yourself from it. Separate your self-interest from it and give impartial judgment. You must stay impartial and make appropriate and informed decisions. Though you are empathetic, but remain impartial. You must be objective in your dealing and in your intervention. The next one here is persistence. Number 12, under the skills of successful social workers. Persistence. Serving people in complicated relationships and environment requires patience and persistence. Setbacks are inevitable. The persistent social worker remains focused, sets an example, and tries alternative approaches. Don't say, I have tried this, it doesn't work, I'm going to drop it. He said, persistent social worker remain focused, set an example, and tries alternative approaches. If this one fails, adopt another one. Adopt another one. You have different models in social work. Like I was talking about my students, what is the difference between models and theories? You get what the lady was telling me, sir? We've not been taught the difference between models and theories because there is this possibility of mixing models and theories. The models are action plans, different action plans you can engage to solve your client's problem. These are action plans, unlike theories that are, theories are just concepts. Theories are concepts. They are not action plans. Theories are there for you to back up your argument. But when you come to models, there are things that must be done between you and your client. You can adopt one that will give your client assignment. Between this period and this period, there are different models in social work. And you must know them as a social worker. If one fails, adopt another one. That is why we talk about persistence. You must be persistent as a social worker. Then the next one, number 13, is flexibility. Flexibility. No 2 days are the same in social work. Linda, please mute your mic. Archibong, Linda, mute your mic. Archibong, Linda. Thank you. We talk about flexibility. No 2 days are the same in social work. Problems are frequently unexpected and do not follow the same typical 9 to 5 schedule. What do you mean by 9 to 5? I resume 9 and I must close by 5. It is not a problem that follow 9 to 5 schedule. There are some that will take it beyond 5. There are some that will bring you to office even before 9. You must be flexible. Don't say, you can't see me in office until 9. Don't say, once you come a minute after 5, you can't see me again. No 2 days are the same in social work. Problems are frequently unexpected and do not follow a typical 9 to 5 schedule. Solving difficult situations will often involve dealing with other agencies and supporting families in their needs outside regular hours. That is outside regular hours. So don't say 9 to 5. You must be flexible. It will take your time earlier and later. You get to office earlier than expected and you close later than expected. So flexibility is also needed. It's one of the skills of successful social workers. Then the 14th one is resilience. It's like I'm taking too much of our time. Okay, it's 2 hours class anyway. Okay, please, I believe you jotted down these points I'm making, these skills I'm mentioning, I'm talking about. Maybe after now or against the next class, if there's any one you don't understand, we can go over it. The next one is resilience. So avoid burnout. Social workers will need to learn coping mechanisms and know when to say no. Did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Despite the fact that you want to be persistent, despite the fact that you want to be persistent, you want to be flexible, you must know when to say what? No. Resilience helps to bounce back from challenging and emotionally draining days to face the next client and tomorrow. You should understand yourself and you should know when to say, I'm sorry, we will continue tomorrow. You must know when to say no. Yes, it is a calling. Yes, we are called to assist others. Yes, we are called to put smiles on people's faces. But we must know when to say what? No. Resilience helps to bounce back. When you say no, you go back to refresh. And you come back the following day, refreshed. Not that you want to finish your work today and you die there today. We must know when to say no. Resilience helps to bounce back from challenging and emotionally draining days to face the next clients and tomorrow. The 15th one here says drive. Drive. Social work can be highly satisfying, rewarding, and rewarding. Helping people who need it the most requires individuals to learn new skills and be motivated to be their best. You know, helping people and achieving results, getting results is a drive. it motivates you to do more. So social work can be highly satisfying and rewarding. Helping people who need it the most requires individuals to learn new skills and be motivated to their best. Once you have achieved one thing, you go over and over again, then you keep learning, you keep reading new skills, new techniques, because you were successful yesterday, it will motivate you to do something else that will help you to be successful tomorrow. That is a drive. While maintaining self-care, a driven social worker commits to providing the best service to their clients. Though you are taking care of yourself, then you are motivated to providing the best service to your clients. Then the next one, number 16, is what I call time management. You don't have eternity to attend to a client, and you don't have eternity to attend to a case. Then you must also learn time management. While an essential quality, that is time management, while it's an essential quality, it is also a teachable skill. Social workers typically have too little time in the day to complete their work. As a result, they must find ways to allocate the right amount of time to the tasks they face. You don't have eternity. You must know to manage your time, allocate or allot time to each activity you have to do in a day. Before you leave office, you have stick paper. Stick to your system. Stick to your table. First thing tomorrow morning, as you come, you just see that stick paper. That is the first thing you attend to. You allot time to it. You are organized. You allot time to it. No time wasted. So that talks about time management. Then the last one here, which is number 17, I think, is interviewing. It's a skill. It's a skill. Interviewing. Ask, when to ask, how to ask, what should come first. In research, we talked about open. Hello, are we together?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the last one here.
We are
Okay.
together, sir.
The last one here is interviewing. Interviewing is an essential skill in social work. Social workers can learn techniques to improve information gathering through the use of multiple question types that can be tailored and used across many situations. These include open questions. This can help the service users feel listening to. When you give an open question, that means you want your client to talk. When you have open-ended questions, it's like you doing what we call what do we call this interview now? Unstructured interview. Unstructured interview is open-ended. So when you ask an open-ended question, it simply means you want your client to talk. The question that are under open-ended are why and how. When you ask the question why, oh my God, just be ready to listen. When you ask the question how, these are questions under unstructured interview. So talk about open questions. This can help the service user feel listened to. But when it is a closed questions, or closed question rather, does not give the client opportunity to talk. In fact, it looks as if the options are provided already, in which the client cannot go outside the options you have provided. Were you there, yes or no? Is that a closed-ended or open-ended question?
Close-ended.
Yes or close-ended. Yes or no questions are close-ended.
Close-ended.
So you have closed your client. It cannot go beyond yes or no. That's a close-ended question. Then we also have what we call indirect questions. Indirect questions, it can be helpful to phrase questions as sentences, providing flexibility in the length or type of response. Then we also have what we call probing questions. You ask a question in order to probe further, to dig deep, to get information from your client. Probing questions elicit more concrete answers and greater details. So you're interviewing, you may have open questions, closed questions, indirect questions. You can also have what we call probing questions. And lastly, we can have what we call hypothetical questions. Hypothetical questions. In research, we said hypotheses are tentative statements that are subjected to acceptance or rejection. That is what hypothesis is all about. Hypothesis is a tentative statement that is subjected to acceptance or rejection, because hypothesis is not confirmed until after you might have conducted your research. Then at the end, you either reject or accept. That is what we call HO and H1. Null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis for those of us who have done research, and for those of us who are still going to write research. So that is HO and H1. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Together.
the next
Yes,
question is hypothetical questions. Valuable for encouraging the client to think positively about a to think positively about a possible future. That is when you ask a hypothetical questions, or hypothetical question rather. No single question type should dominate. We have talked about 5 types of questions here. We talk about open questions, closed questions, indirect questions, probing questions, and hypothetical questions. And we said no single question type should dominate. It is better to use a range of questions to encourage a natural conversation rather than an interrogation. You are not doing interrogation. You just want to get, more information from your client, and that will definitely help you out. So I'm going to call it quit here. Like I said to us, it's going to be like, but this is more than introduction anyway. Or do you think this is an introduction class? We've done more than introduction. So we spent about 1 hour, 40 minutes. So, but I just want to call it quit here for our next class. By the special grace of God, like I said, I'm going to get the material across to us. You can see the class, the material I'm reading here is self-explanatory. Even if I had sent it to you earlier than now, you'll have gone through it and you still understand. You'll have understood everything in it. So I want to say thank you for your cooperation, except for those who are disturbing us with calls and those who refuse to, mute their mics. Madam Adebisi, where is that? Adebisi, Madam Lawal, how are you? Has Lawal left the class? Omoba, have you left the class?
No, sir, I'm still here.
Let me call you by your name so you know that somebody is here who knows you very well.
I know, amen. Well done, sir.
I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Then I saw Mrs. Adebisi here too.
Yes,
Has she
sir.
left the class? Okay.
I'm here. I'm still with you,
Okay.
sir.
No, Allah. So by the special grace of God, when is our next class, Seth? I will check the timetable. So
Okay,
I will have posted the materials to us, and we continue with the class. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Enjoy the
All
rest
right,
of your
sir.
weekend.
Thank you very much, sir. I have
Thank you,
something to
sir.
say.
Thank
before
you,
we
sir.
leave.
Thank you very
Okay, who
much,
is
sir.
that? Oh, who has something
Thank
to
you,
say?
sir.
Oh,
Adesola, oh.
okay, ma.
Okay, I just
All
wanted
right.
to
Bye-bye,
add
sir.
something to what we've learned today.
Bye,
You
sir.
said what?
I said I just wanted to add something to what we've learned today.
Okay, ma.
Okay, like during in the course of the week, I was opportune to be in a gathering of some students. Some are able and some are disabled. And one of them said something that struck my mind, that I think we as a social worker, we also need to have that knowledge. That is a sign language. Yes, because the guy was like, we are special people. Some of us, we are deaf. Some of us are dumb. We also have our challenges. And if we are coming to you as a social worker and we could not communicate effectively, so how do you tend to help us or know what we are going through? So I think it would be an added advantage for us.
I had wanted to learn sign language, and I'm going to learn it now.
In fact, I'm
I
also
have
trying
places
to
to learn
learn.
it.
Yes, so
I have places to learn it. It
Yes.
is very, very key.
Yes.
It's germane. Thank you very much.
Yes,
It is
Good
something
afternoon,
like
sir.
I
I
said,
tried
please, I'm
talking,
coming.
so I don't know. My network ended. Well done, sir.
Hey, your network, okay?
Yes, I was trying to unmute myself. So I don't know. I was struggling with it.
We had a nice
well
class.
done, sir. Good to hear your voice,
No,
sir.
Allah. Don't worry. Anything, Emma worry. Next class, I will have sent the materials to everybody. Then we know how to continue with the class. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Bye.
Bye-bye, sir.
Bye-bye, sir.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir.
Amen.
Thank you, sir.